recognize the member for Windsor West.
Thank you. To the Premier, our auto sector is in crisis, reeling from Trump's tariffs and the Premier's wait-and-see attitude of inaction. Shifts at Windsor Assembly have been cancelled. 4,000 workers are laid off. The promised return of the third shift has been delayed until 2026. One shift lost is one shift too many. These cuts hurt the entire community. Workers and local businesses are already feeling the impact. Windsor workers deserve real action from this government, such as adopting a policy that if you sell here, you must build here. Will the Premier stand up for workers and my community by joining us in demanding that these jobs remain in Ontario?
Response, I recognize the Minister of Economic Development.
Thank you. I've said it almost every day. We're at war with the United States. We're in an economic war. But under the previous Liberal government, Ontario's auto sector was on the brink of collapse, and good-paying jobs were fleeing to the U.S., and that was without tariffs. It was a direct result of the Liberal NDP policies. Now, our government worked very hard to revitalize the auto sector. We reshored those jobs lost under the Liberal rule. We've seen auto companies invest $46 billion over the last 4 years. Speaker, 100,000 auto jobs were saved and 10,000 more auto jobs have been created. Companies from around the world chose Ontario because we have everything here they need to succeed. We're not going to slow down, Speaker. We're going to do everything in our power to ensure that these companies keep their people here and continue to invest in Ontario.
Supplementary, the member from Windsor West.
Mr. Speaker, the government continues to take credit for the work of the union and the workers who actually saved the auto industry in this province. Under this government, Windsor already had the highest unemployment rate in Canada at 10.8%. Now, 4,000 workers at Windsor Assembly and 2,000 more at feeder plants are laid off, with 9 spin-off jobs at risk for every auto job lost. Windsor workers put themselves between company trucks and the border to stop equipment from being shipped to the U.S. because they know once the equipment is moved, it's never coming back and their jobs are gone. It's happening while the Premier, quote, waits to see what happens rather than being proactive. Will the Premier support workers in my community and across the province by requiring auto companies to build in Ontario if they want to sell in Ontario?
Response, Minister of Economic Development.
Speaker, again, we are facing a once-in-a-generation threat from south of the border. Now, we are in close contact daily with companies who are navigating through this period of uncertainty, and that's why earlier this week, along with the Premier, we spoke with Stellantis and we visited GM in Oshawa. Now, we spoke directly with the workers there who are proudly building Ontario-made vehicles. We're going to be there to support these businesses and these workers, which is why our government has already announced $11 billion in immediate relief for Ontario companies. At the same time, we're taking the necessary action to ensure that Ontario remains competitive. We just announced the expansion of the Ontario-made Manufacturing Investment Tax Credit, which will provide an additional $1.3 billion over 3 years.